Doma Sports Talk worldwide with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Now, concussion, heavyweight division. Right now, who's really hot in the heavyweight division other than your boy Alexander Usyk, who's undisputed champion, in my opinion, right? Everybody else, got them belts with the IBF belt because Alexander Usyk just gave it back. Alexander Usyk the baddest one and was undisputed in two divisions. We got to just give it up for the man Usyk. But who's a little hot right now got to be Daniel Dubois. And Daniel Dubois, after stopping Anthony Joshua in spectacular fashion, um, stopping Jarrell Miller, who's 300 pounds of man with an attitude. It's not easy to stop somebody like that. And to beat Filip Herkovich, who in my opinion just got tired, but hey, he came through there. Now, and even Daniel Dubois has a little bit of controversy in his fight versus Alexander Usyk. Now, I personally am not buying it, right? If you can beat a guy, if then you can beat a guy. Um, Alexander Usyk, if just was winning the fight all the damn rounds, right? And then got hit, which could have been low, could have not been low, and played the role that he got hurt. All right. So if you're gonna go through a fight and talk about one punch, then who's the better fighter? You see what I'm saying? If you just look, who's the better fighter? If the punch was not low and he rolled around, if the referee would have told Alexander Usyk, get your ass up, or you're gonna count out. I'm pretty sure he got up, ran for the rest of that round and came out and did what he did. You know, I would be on Dubois' side with this if Dubois would have won some other rounds. The obvious better fighter is Alexander Usyk there. So that's how I really see that. If that was low or not. Some say it was, some say it wasn't. So forget the low punch. I don't think we want to talk about one punch in a fight and say, well, that fighter, because if that's the case, then we can't say the fighters are better because everybody gets lucky with a punch. So no, I'm not going for that. Alexander Usyk won that fight, in my opinion, because Dubois had the opportunity to just beat him the rest of the fight, you know, and that wasn't the case, people. So what? But Dubois has been handling his business of late. He's probably full of confidence right now. So, you're going to step in there with Dubois right now, you're going to have a problem. Now, do we want to see Dubois versus Anthony Joshua rematch? Right? What we're hearing is Anthony Joshua is healing. He has a few little, nicks and crannies, so he's going to probably not be ready by February the 22nd, which is good news for the most of us. There's a few reasons. A rematch, we got to remember Anthony Joshua was the bigger name, but Dubois was the champion in this case, so there shouldn't have been a rematch clause anyway. Joshua, you got beat. You got to get in line like the rest of them. The Royalty Act is over. And you got your ass beat, handed to you. There's no reason for there to be some kind of rematch. There was no controversy. It wasn't a close fight. Joshua was only winning maybe a part of a round, right? Maybe a part of a round. In that round 4 or 5, we hit Dubois with a right hand and kind of made Dubois, hurt him a little bit, and then ran into Dubois' right hand. But prior to that, he was losing the fight, basically. So, therefore, there's no need for a rematch here. Joshua needs to come back and have a rehabilitation fight. But in the meantime, who would you want Dubois to fight? And y'all know I roll with Joe. So Joseph Parker, baby. Joseph Parker, has got his hand up. Joseph Parker is also someone, I've been telling y'all, man, Joseph Parker's a good fighter, period. Is he the best at everything? Probably not. But is he good at everything? Yes. And Joseph Parker's, he has also a pretty good run here. He beat my other boy, Deontay Wilder, and he beat Sheila Shane. And everybody not doing that, right? And because Sheila Shane really ain't been beat. The others, the Herkovich versus Shane fight, that could have went either way. So Joseph Parker, he had a couple of losses, right? The only one that I'm going to just say he lost without no controversy is Joe Joyce. But losing to Anthony Joshua, y'all know how I feel about that. You got a referee that can't say nothing but break. Italian guy. Break! And that's it. Wouldn't let him get in close and do no fighting. I have my issues with that fight, right? And when it comes to that loss against Dillian White, come on now. Round two, you lose in round two, which would have been a 10-9 round for Joseph Parker. Gets headbutted, falls down from a headbutt, and then your boy Dylan White gets a 10-8 round, right? Now, from that headbutt, you probably concussed the whole fight. So what happens later? You're in the fight, the whole fight, pretty much in the fight, probably even winning it a little bit, but you get about, I think it was about round nine, nice left hook from Mr. Left Hook and Dillian White, and then you go down. Not when you go down, it was a peach of a left hook. But come up, get up from that, and win those last couple of rounds. And when I mean win, I'm talking about to the point of who wanted that fight to end when it ended. Dillian White, for sure. So I'm thinking he barely lost that fight to Dillian White, and if that 10, you are talking about a 10-9 round for Joseph Parker, and the other guy gets a 10-8 from it, from a headbutt. So when you're looking at that, that's controversy there. So those two fights, I got question marks on those. So Joseph Parker is just in the mix, right? He beat Andy Ruiz in a close fight. So I put Joseph Parker in the upper echelon, period, right? And he's in the mix. So Daniel Dubois versus Joseph Parker is a great fight for me. A great fight. I can't think of a better one for Daniel Dubois right now because it's competitive. Two guys who confident right now, right? And for Joseph Parker, it's pretty gonna be pretty good because he's gonna be the underdog versus Daniel Dubois. And I know for sure, because I roll with Joe, that in his mind, he ain't no damn underdog versus no damn Daniel Dubois. So somebody give old Joe a call and see if we can get Joseph